Welcome back once again to Avowed. For this video, we're going to be going over and how to become super OP as quick as possible within like maybe 2 to 3 hours of playing the game. This build is absolutely ridiculous. It's a lot of fun, and the great thing about it is it's easy to get and you can use it all the way until chapter 3. That's what I did, and I'm still using this build. It's absolutely insane. Let's go ahead and do this, and let me show you how to get everything ready as fast as possible. So having a look at the character right now, there's only 2 things that we actually need to get, and that is this weapon, the Disappointer, and then this weapon, Kyrock's Pride. They're pretty much easy as each other to get, so let me show you how to get the Disappointments. The first one is located in the Northern Paradise. This vendor right here in the Philosopher's Alley, basically right at the beginning of this area, is a merchant in this corner. This guy right here will give you this weapon for just a little bit of coin. You should be able to buy it from him. Now, it's not going to show up for me because I already bought it, but you can definitely go ahead and pick it up for yourself. It's a very cheap weapon to get. Remember, keep them on you because we are going to be upgrading both weapons and changing their attributes. We'll be doing that very soon. The next one that we're going to have to go and get is this one, Kyrock's Pride, another very easy one to get. For this one, just outside of Paradise, you're going to find this checkpoint right here, Ondra's Reach Beacon. Go ahead and go there. Alright, so as soon as you spawn at the beacon, right behind you, right in this part of the map, right there, this island, if you just go walk straight over to it, for me, obviously they are going to be dead, but they will be there for you if you haven't killed this enemy already. Right there, there's going to be a boss. All you have to do is just kill the boss and they will drop you this pistol right here. It's very simple and definitely not hard at all. This weapon is very good as well. Now let's talk about on how to upgrade these weapons and make them super OP. So the attributes of these weapons, Kyrock's Pride is a unique weapon. Killing an enemy has 25% chance to cast a crackling bolt. That is the perk that I put on it. It's very good, and I'll show you how to do that. The next one is the Disappointment. Pyro attacks give all nearby enemies 10% damage for 15 seconds. So in order to upgrade these weapons, what we have to do is open up the map and basically go inside of Paradise Island in the Market District. Go ahead and spawn in. Alright, so in the Market District, if you speak to this NPC right here, located basically right there, spank in the middle of the area. Now this NPC right here is going to allow you to basically buy every single upgrade material that's in the game, as you can see. Now what you want to do is basically buy these. 5 bear claws, 3 Zurop tongues, 1 awakened wood, and 1 vessel flesh, and 500 gold is required to buy all of these. This is for the Disappointer. These are the upgrade materials that we need. And for Kyrock's Pride, what you need for this one is 1 primal wind, 1 primal water, 5 Zurop tongues, 3 awakened wood, and requires 500 gold. Now, if you don't actually see any of these in this vendor, there are many other vendors that actually do also sell some of these upgrades in the starting area. Just go ahead and walk around, find some of the other merchants in the area. There's one also basically everywhere. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 alone in this area. Obviously not all of them sell the upgrade materials, but talk to them and you should be able to find some anyway. But this NPC, Marilyn, will definitely have some of these upgrade materials. For example, there is your bear claws, awakened wood right there, your primal water, your Zurop tongues, everything will be right here. What we want to do after you have gotten the required materials, go ahead and go to your camp. Any camp will do. Okay, so once we are in the camp, what you want to do here now is go over to your enchantment station. Now, once we do actually click into it, your Disappointer will have these options for you to choose. Tender Love and Care, 10 plus attack damage, or Shared Misery. Power attacks give all nearby enemies minus 10% damage for 15 seconds. That's the one I chose, but it's completely up to you which one you want to choose. For my build and what I went for is Shared Misery. Obviously for Kyrock's Pride, we can go ahead and choose it out of these options. Thunderfall. Power attacks deal high shock accumulation to nearby enemies, which is pretty good. Next is Wrath of the Storm. Killing an enemy has a 25% chance to cast Crackling Bolt. That one is pretty damn powerful and I actually really like it. If you don't like percentage chances in games, maybe go for Thunder's Fall. But this one, let me tell you, it's absolutely amazing. So that's what I went for. For the next part, what we want to do is still stay in the camp. Now we want to go over to your workbench. Here we are going to be turning our weapons from common to fine, and it's very simple to do. As you can see when hovering over some of the required materials that you need on your screen, you're going to need a few very simple materials. For example, to turn it into fine to exceptional, you need these materials at the bottom, but you only need to go from common to fine. And for that, all you're going to need is basically softwood branches and paradisine ladder. And again, if you want to find these materials, all you have to do is go back to Meredith in the Paradise Market District, and you can buy those materials right there from her. If you need more of those materials, what you can do, you probably have a bunch of weapons already collected. What you can do is hover over the weapon and you can scroll down. Here, if you break down that weapon, it will tell you what materials you can get from breaking it down. For this one, you can get hardwood branch and Adra. Some other weapons will give you the materials needed to upgrade these weapons to fine. And for the next material you're going to need is also a very simple one to get, but can be quite annoying for some people. And it's called Eora. You probably have some already. If you don't have any, you can get some from any merchants basically in the game. A few have them. The merchant next to Meredith in Paradise has 2 of them. Some of these other merchants also have 2 of them. In total, you need 8 Eora essences, or whatever they're called, to actually upgrade your weapon from common to fine at the very end. And that's it. It's very simple. And that's how you upgrade your weapons. Pretty simple. Now, let's talk about your abilities, okay? And also your attributes towards your character. What I highly recommend putting is might, okay? Dexterity is very important, and resolve is semi-important as well. You don't want to use any intellect or perception. You can use perception for your critical hit chance. That's quite good as well. But we're not going to be using much intellect, so what I definitely recommend putting your points into is 100% might, dexterity, and resolve. And also make sure you put some into your max health as well. If you feel like you're going to die a lot, go ahead and do that. But dexterity and might are your #1 priority when it comes to this build for now. Alright, moving over to abilities. This is what I recommend putting on. We're going to be focused in the Ranger tab, okay? What you want to do is have Tanglefoot. Now this is going to come in very handy because we're going to be trapping enemies in a position where we can just literally fire our shots into their crits very easily without them moving at all. Next up is the steady aim. This is holding down your power attack with a bow or gun, slows time by 25%, allowing us to get those crit chance even easier. Next up is your marksman skill. This one is going to increase damage with bows and guns by 25%. That is what we're using. I recommend getting this one once you are level 15 to max it out. Next up is evasive. This is basically going to reduce the stamina cost by dodges by 25%. Very good once you get that fully maxed out. And then finally is scavenger. When picking up herbs, occasionally receives an extra upgrade material. Pretty good for you to upgrade your weapons later down the line when you're making your build even stronger. And that is it for this tab. Obviously, that's just the starting build for now. Later on, once you start getting more points, higher levels, you can go ahead and get pretty much whatever that you like. There's some pretty good skills that you can go ahead and pick up later on. For example, your charge is pretty good. Your shout is also pretty decent. This one gives you more maximum health. There's some pretty good perks you can definitely go ahead and get down the line. But this is just a starter build for now. And that is pretty much it on how to make this build. Now, how do we exactly use this build? And it's simple as this. What you want to do is just hold down the triggers, and that will allow you to slow down time. You will see a triangle allowing you to hit those crits very easily. You can also spam your shots at the head, allowing you to basically absolutely demolish any enemy whatsoever. You can see in the gameplay that I'm putting in the background right now how quickly you can destroy pretty much any boss, any enemy with ease. Obviously, some places will be a bit more challenging considering that it goes higher levels the further you go down into the game. Now, most of the bosses and enemies that I have faced, I was quite actually under-leveled for. I still had like level 1, level 2 gear when I was facing level 3, level 4 enemies. But I still managed to kill them because of this build. It's really, really good. Go ahead and try it out. Obviously, the further that we play the game, the more that we play the game, the better the gear that we'll be getting. And you can still carry this build over into more powerful weapons. Or if you really wanted to, you can keep the weapons that you have now and continue to upgrade them into legendary status. But you can go ahead and just buy weapons anyway. Now, one more thing, if you are running out of gold, okay, like you can see right now, that only have like 6,000 gold. But I did recently upload a infinite gold glitch that you guys want to do if you wanted to before it does get patched. You can get around 100,000 gold in about 10 minutes, maybe even less, like 5 minutes if you really wanted to, depending on how fast you do it. And yeah, go ahead and do that if you need more gold to upgrade your gear and weapons and character. That's pretty much it for this video. I really hope that it does help you guys out, and I'll see you all very soon on the next build and video for Avowed.